I'm Andy Hill, and I'm responsible for our repo and collateral work here at ICMA, along with secondary markets and short-term markets. My briefing is on CSDR settlement discipline, in particular, the work we're doing related to the mandatory buy-in regime. CSDR mandatory buy-ins remain a key area of focus for ICMA and its members, both from a bond market and repo market perspective. In recent months, there have been a number of developments which have raised optimism that the CSDR NBI regime, currently scheduled to go live as part of the settlement discipline package on February 1st, 2022, may be postponed. On September 23rd, Anneli Tuominen, interim chair of ESMA, wrote to the European Commissioner, Mairead McGuinness, supporting a postponement of the NBI regime and requesting urgent action to provide a signal that a modification of the current implementation timeline is being considered. The letter asks for clarification of a delay, ideally by the end of October 2021. This is broadly viewed as a positive outcome following months of engagement by ICMA and others with various EU regulatory authorities and policymakers, where we pushed the case for a delay in order to review the framework and to undertake any necessary revisions. ICMA and the wider industry have consistently pointed to several elements of the NBI framework that could be challenging, if not impossible, to implement in practice. ICMA has also been among the most vocal in highlighting and evidencing the potential negative impacts of the regime for both bond and repo market liquidity and stability. The European Commission is currently undertaking a review of the NBI provisions as part of the CSDR targeted review, including an impact assessment. It is widely expected that this will result in substantive changes to the buy-in regime, which in turn will have implications for the industry's implementation efforts, not least the significant contractual remediation required to support its enforcement across multiple transaction types, markets, and global jurisdictions. Any legislative proposals following the review are expected toward the end of 2021 or even early 2022, and would most likely come into force sometime in 2022 at the earliest. It is therefore imperative that the current NBI provisions do not go ahead as scheduled, and that sufficient time is given for the industry to implement the revised NBI regime. Better still would be that the NBI regime is suspended indefinitely, and that the other components of settlement discipline, in particular cash penalties, are given adequate time to be implemented, assessed, and refined. It is now hoped that the European Commission will announce to the industry its intention to delay NBI implementation and give sufficient comfort that current implementation efforts can be put on hold. Meanwhile, it is expected that the EU co-legislators will find a way to decouple NBIs from settlement discipline, thereby allowing its other components, including cash penalties, to go ahead as scheduled in February 2022. For now at least, ICMA has put its implementation efforts, both for bond and repo markets, on hold in anticipation of imminent clarification from the European Commission. Concurrently, it is spearheading a number of initiatives aimed at improving settlement efficiency in the European bond and repo markets, which are the subject of one of the panels in this general meeting. The ICMA CSDR Settlement Discipline Working Group will also focus on ensuring the successful implementation of the CSDR cash penalty regime. I thank you for your time and attention.